Hi, Anna.
Hi.
So my name is Alyssa. I'm a social worker who is going to be talking with you. I really appreciate you being open to meeting with me today over video chat. I know it's kind of different, but I understand you have a pretty busy schedule, so I'm
Yes.
glad we had a chance to meet. I also want to introduce you to somebody else I invited. So based on the information that I got from your intake application, I thought that speaking with a lawyer on your rights as a LGBTQ individual could be very beneficial to you. If you agree with me, then I have our lawyer here. Her name's Bernice. She's going to kind of talk to you about your rights in the state of Texas as far as that goes. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay, Bernice. Hi, Anna. It's nice meeting you. Um, I know that you're not from this country, but we have laws here that prevent certain employers from firing their employees based on sexual preference. Unfortunately, Texas does not have a state law that protects people from being fired based on their sexual orientation. And but we do work with some nonprofits that fight for justice in the workplace. Would you like to be connected to the Montrose Center?
Yes, I think having information about the Montron Center would be something that would be very beneficial for me at this moment.
Okay, perfect. As a nonprofit that works with the
Hmm.
lesbian gay community, and they really fight for their rights as um, for their as a basic human rights and for them to be treated equally within the workplace community and in just community in general. So that's a little bit something about the Montrose area.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bernice. Okay, so Anna, before we start talking about some things that are a little bit more personal, I wanted to inform you of our confidentiality here. So everything that you tell me will stay between us. I will not share it with anybody else unless in the event that you disclose intentions of harming yourself or harming others. In that case, I will be legally obligated to share that to get you the help that you need and make sure that we're staying safe. Okay.
I understand that.
Okay. So it's my understanding that, when you were growing up, you had experienced some similar situations where you felt as though your sexual orientation and your kind of beliefs were being oppressed by the way that your family was raising you and their beliefs. So I'd like to know a little bit more about how those experiences of withholding your sexual orientation from your coworkers feel similar or different to how those experiences were when you were having to withhold that information from your family in El Salvador.
Yes, so growing up, I had a really hard time. My family is a very traditional Catholic family, and I still consider myself Catholic. However, I don't agree with the discrimination that happens because of those things. And my family is not okay with me being a lesbian woman, and they have oppressed me for many years now. And it's something that I was not able to tell them until I was able to come to the United States. With my job that I have right now, I see a lot of similarities because, in a way, I still have to be silent, and uh, I still have to just not be able to be who I am because I'm afraid that if they do find out, like my family did, that I will no longer be able to work there, and I really need this job, and I can see the relations that my family relation and my job relationship do interconnect in many aspects.
Okay. I appreciate you sharing that with me. I know that was probably kind of challenging. Do you feel like your relationships with your family have suffered since you did come out to them?
It has, definitely has. None of them, they don't want to speak to me. None of my mother or my father, none of my siblings or my cousins want to speak with me. One of my sisters still wants to speak with me, but she doesn't want the other family members to know that she still has connection with me.
Okay. So it sounds like your family support system's kind of limited as of right now due to you sharing that information with them. So you mentioned that you still identify as Catholic. So how do you think that your sexuality plays a role in those beliefs?
Well, I believe that my religion, it is my personal beliefs that I still believe in those things. However, I cannot control my sexual orientation, and I think that I have been able to just find a connection between my religion and my sexuality, and I don't let those two things interfere anymore.
That's really good to hear. So it sounds like you have your one sister that's a support, as well as your identification as a Catholic woman. And I also understand that you recently had a relationship end with somebody who you were close with, your girlfriend. So it seems to me like you might have a kind of a greater need for some more support right now. Is there any other supports that you haven't mentioned to me that you can identify? More friends, more organizations?
I have some new friends that I met here in Houston, but I don't have many friends here that really understand what I'm going through. So it has been hard to find a strong support system right now, and I am also struggling financially due to um, the inequality in my job between what I have seen and I have noticed between the men and the women. Equal pay. So I'm having a hard time with that as well. And I'm afraid that if I do start saying something to them, that they will eventually find out about my sexual orientation, and it would hurt me more at the end.
Okay. Sounds like you're going through a lot right now.
Yes.
Okay. So you are lacking that support system right now. You're feeling like you have less support than you would like. Have you ever had any feelings of depression?
I have.
Okay. And what about any suicidal ideation where you
No,
are feeling like you
I
want
have
to?
not.
Okay, so that's good to hear. I definitely have some support groups that I think that I could connect you with that could be very helpful, both for, feeling as a woman as though you're being paid less, and also as an LGBTQ individual who identifies as that. Is there anything else that you think right now would be helpful? I hope that, speaking with the lawyer Bernice was helpful to you. I don't claim to be an expert in these types of subjects, so I would like to have these experts be able to support you and give you some accurate information.
Yes, and I really appreciate it. I think this meeting has been very beneficial for myself, and I really appreciate all the resources that you guys have shared with me and all the information, and I feel a little bit more empowered now that you guys have shared this information with me. So I plan to take on this, and I hope that we can have a follow-up meeting sometime soon.
I would be very happy to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.